Beautiful people, most welcome to my channel. I'm Charlotte Chi. So today let's cover the true Chi energy of what healing entails. Where does it come from? How does it manifest? How can everybody heal themselves out with the elixirs of upgrades, changes, substances that are available for our evolution? Because if we look at the bigger picture truly within, the only missing link, missing component here is the knowledge, the intelligence, the refinement, the will to do it, moving out of laziness and continuously re-educating the self. That is the main purpose of everybody on the planet. So it is interesting to really see what breaks healing down. So let's move into that, as we are all, our body is part of this huge universe as a collective being, and so we are all connected to parts of this universe, to galaxies, to certain stars, certain star clusters that are teams of light that work with light. And thus healing essentially comes from light, and light carries vibrations that are connected to frequencies. So healing also comes down to the deciphering between a pure vibration and a negative or very low dense vibration. If you receive a healing from somebody that never upgrades, that eats whatever they want, that smokes, that drinks alcohol, that is, piled with toxins, and most of our food is already so synthetic, that is exactly the healing you will receive. If you know somebody that changes over time, like every month you see new stuff, you see new vibrations rising, you see the purification, and you know that person that purifies itself all of the time, that upgrades consciousness, that upgrades seminar, that upgrades themselves, their looks, their everything, then you are with the right people. The same entails for yourself. If you continuously upgrade, and you move into the many levels of purification through which your vibration can rise. Like an example of this would be, like, I've been teaching light body to move out of the astral planes like for 20 years now. There was a lot to be understood, there was a lot to equal out that light body to the masters, to the angelic kingdom. And right now this year we've come to the point we can move into the celestial bodies that rise frequency so high. Like my example here, that's the only example I can truly give, and for people who are in my seminars, that is that I sort of need no more than 5 hours sleep at the present times. In the past I would have periods of time like I needed 4 to 5, 6 hours, and I was okay, but that would never stay. It was like a trampoline, and that is not the same this time around. Moving celestial, completely releasing the old malfunctioning, especially in the lungs and the heart, because that is what keeps you alive. We are uplifting the lungs massively now in a system that cannot no longer breathe the negativity of the matrix, and thus the astral planes, ego consciousness or soul consciousness. It's all the same, and yet massive amount of people are talking about the soul resurrection, and that is actually resurrecting from the negativity, the diseases, the malfunctioning, any luck you may experience in finances, economics, banking systems. That is all due to the matrix. So when you have installed a crystalline grid that continuously actually overrides the matrix, so it actually squeezes the matrix because there is a light floor, then you have a grid, and then you have again a grid, and in between is that matrix. So with your meditation, with your breathing system, with many compositions in light, you squeeze that, you lift yourself up, and you move your vibration into the beyond, so to speak. That is where we want to go, because from this moment on, as there's so many changes on the earth, I would suggest do not listen to the news. It's all crap. There have been wars all of the time. It's just to create more and more fear as more and more light is being planted. So the dark forces are trying to kill you once again. You know, that is the old news. So the only thing here I deem very, very important, it has been my study for 20 years as a spiritual engineer, a scientist somehow, and working with the universes for such a long time, I came to understand that all these steps I went through personally were a true necessity, because many people ask me, where do I get that high vibration? How do I keep it up? It's easy to look at somebody who's 30, 40, or 50 years old. You know, they think they have a high vibration, but when I have a good look at them, I mean, they need so much sleep. They need to uplift themselves, and while repeating and repeating and repeating every old stuff all of the time, that is remaining in the old matrix actually. That is how simple it is. So from now on, we will see a lot more people, and that is truly the good news, rising into their authenticity in a way we have never witnessed before. Because due to that clarity and the massive grids really landing in many different spaces on the earth, all over the world actually, and many true light workers like myself are planting many degrees of light into that. It's part of my personal work, and reason why I get up so early, like 4 or at least the latest at 5 in the morning, just to do my work for the divine. So we all have work orders, but how many perform them really? And then again, you know, we need to think about ourselves in the first place. So you truly need to heal yourself out and have that knowledge. You need to know how to set a light body, how to upgrade, how to work with all the 22 ways of creation. So there's more information in my other videos about the tree of life, the new tree of life we are moving in, and that is where we will see the transition in the skin, in rising your vibration or having more energy in your physiology and everything that comes with it. So we are removing the old you know, obstruction actually in our genes into new light formulas that are downloaded on the planet by our source, the many sources and forces in the universe. So we can glorify as much as we want. But then again, nobody is going to do the work within us. And the same goes for these old prayers people are putting out. That doesn't work. What works is really, you know, opening up the lungs to the highest level of recognition, to the highest level of being grateful for your breathing system, and uplifting your breathing system, like you can breathe like at least 10 miles in circumference. Because if you can breathe that too, that true, these are like yeah, waves, massive waves of light you can plant in your environment, and that is how we are starting to heal it. Then again, when not living in a crystalline grid, it doesn't work. It will not work, because the only thing that will uplift you are the grids downloading continuously your own database, your own information, or your channeling capacity, whatever you term it. That's all okay. No problem with that. But you should actually recognize that every breath, that with every breath, you are actually fulfilling the functions of the universe. You are working together. It is already when you breathe light in and out, that is already a great work you are doing in the environment, because you start to realize that in every vibration there is on the planet, you are continuing that vibration, and that vibration can be traced back into your origin, but also the origin of the galaxies, the star systems, this planet that is reclaiming its special place back in space. And that is why everything is, changing so fast now. And, there is a demarcation line for the negativity and the density. And thus, when we do our work, moving ourselves out of that negativity, density, diseases, whatever you term it, I would term it the end of the dark ages, actually. That is the point where you can decide to take care of yourself, to do your own healing, get some assistance from a good healer if you want, or at least set a light body in so you can move very, very fast. And that is reason why this year is so important, that we are given, granted, technologies that were never available before, and new technologies have been created to uplift us at a much faster rate, if I can explain it this way, because that is more understandable. What it also does is moving, from a light body out of the matrix, out of the old astral planes, and refining yourselves, removing the addictions, removing especially the emotions like fear and everything that is attachment to old ways of eating, doing, interacting, connecting, jobs, name it, all those things. So then we can conclude there actually has never been any separation. There has just been a matrix. So there is a lot of information I have there in the other videos, why it is important to live in a crystalline grid, what it entails, how it works. I will repost that video after this one, so you have a fresh start with it. And so it is actually that we are moving between the original chemical composition or scenario of light and the molecular division that was created when falling, when the fall happened, so falling into the density with birth in this planet. And so let's say if the planet is right here now, I'll put out this little video, and so it's moving back up, 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 up. And if you remain there and the planet goes there, what will happen? You will either make the choice to transition with it and refine your body, your mentality, your emotions, release and move into your light body to be able to keep up with it, or remain in the matrix of captivity and where the soul has been stolen, where ego overrides everything. So that is moving back into our fate, and reprogramming ourselves or rewiring has a different meaning today, as it demands a new vision, it demands a new construction. It requires us to really have a structure every day with the movement into our light work. So how it truly works for those who are dedicated or want to become dedicated or want to become an eternal healer and getting back into your origin, that can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. I turned 60, and I must say I feel a lot more fit rejuvenated, regenerated than, you know, when I was in my 40s, just because, you know, of these leveling up within light technology. So breaking down light healing comes from light technology, light sciences, light sources, light forces. And these items um, can be broken down into light configurations. For example, if you sit in meditation, you place a home grid at least to protect your house, your flat, you know, wherever you live. Even if you live on the streets, you can protect, you know, a certain space depending on your energy fields and the will to do it, overriding free will and moving full time into divine will, because that is where you get directions, because the divine knows what is best for you. We don't know that in all levels, so that is reason why divine will, moving back, you know, divine will through the spinal column, resurrecting the spine, opening up. You feel so light from within when moving out of the astral plane into an celestial system that is freshly created now, and then moves celestial universal, where everybody remains on the same platform, because this age is all about the crystallization and moving the negativity density out. As long as you have the emotions and not the higher sensations, you give your emotion to almost everything. Everything you hear, everything you see could attract an emotion. When you space out into peace, self-liberation, and healing yourself from any attachment, any fear, any addiction, all those things, you know, there's quite some things to deal with, but it can go so fast now. Like in 3 months time, you can completely change. So we must see how movement happens, and that is where I would like, you know, to come back here to how to lift vibration is working, you know, getting the old energy bodies into oblivion, so to speak, crystallizing. So yes, healing crystals can do a lot, but you need to learn to work with them. You know, just wearing a crystal, okay, it could do some stuff, but communicating with them, asking them how to breathe their essences to, and then being a partner with your crystal, like any other, you know, living, breathing species in the cosmos, that is when you get the best results. And asking that to do for you and to guide you into furthering your healing. So everybody's lungs, heart circulation could use a good boost, a good upgrade, because it's so important to remove all the dust from your lungs, from the alveoli sacs, from the trunk, from the pulmonary artery. Reason for it is because we are making the bridge into light, the arc of consciousness. Remember, the arc of the covenant, that is, you know, when you listen to what is divine from within, when you are aligned to your source, your spark, your spirit, and get your own divine alignments through, that is where true healing comes through. And when you have encoded yourself back into the eternal self, the eternal healer, we are all eternal, immortal beings, that is where you have great capacity to heal even groups of people, because that is the future that is opening right now. So we are working a lot on the expansion of the breath, as I mentioned already, and understanding that without your breath, you have no life forces. That is common sense, right? So if you want to uplift your life forces, actually, and going back into the origin, that is where we are at. We are lifting the genes, the gene pool, back into where we came from. And thus, this is something scientists are fishing for. And it's actually not that difficult if we move back into that perfect light body, creating with the new tree of life. That is what I teach, because it matches all the masters and angelic kingdoms that have the same model of light, matching the temple of light or the stairway to heaven, that is opening the entire heart circulation through the many gates, the tunnels of light, opening up from the binary system in the triangular system, or binary is actually dual consciousness. Binary is 0101, on which computers are built, and we are moving from that pattern into 012210, a triangle which we see on the capstone of the pyramid. So opening up the capstone in our brain, that is truly imperative to receive the highest level of healing. Moving the heart and brain together, as we open the capstone, we get to work with the I within. And in the higher sensations, you get light languages with which to work with. You get numbers, you get codes. That is so special for everybody out here. Everybody is unique into that, and that that creates your passion, that creates new skills, that creates new creator waves once you get there, at least opening the capstone, which can be done uh, by rewiring the entire limbic system, all the glands, resurrecting the glands, resurrecting the pulmonary artery. Your breathing system needs to move along into the breath of light, actually, the eternal breathing system into the omni beyond, and with the alpha omega antennas. So that is something, yeah, if anyone is interested in the celestial body openings with the capstone of creation, that is what I actually do in individual seminars via Skype. I do have an online course, but I think it's a little bit difficult for people to understand when you don't have a light body and how that healing flows through. So my hands get direct into your energy, into your brain formulas, or and start to rewiring with your breath, so you can breathe onto a higher level and you can breathe your own healing through. So that's quite a lot to understand, and that is reason why so many healers or light workers are malfunctioning. So and now we are also moving into new degrees, which I really love. You do know about acupuncture, the acupuncture line, that are lines in the body that are actually connected to the meridians in the body, and the meridians around the earth, and the meridians in the celestial universal systems. So it's all interconnected in unity. So you start to understand the unifying fields, the collective actually, and how I am no different than you are. We all have to do our work within and get that true, become the healer within, because that is our original essence. And so we move back into the origin, open the many eyes, the first pairs of eye, the third eye, fourth eye, and so on. And thus that comes with the refinement from one level into the next, into the next, into the next. So this year is a great change, because the universe ain't taking it anymore. It is coming true. We will witness this. More and more truths will come true, and thus with it comes a lot more falseness or broken veins. So, and that is so beautiful, actually. So let me know here. Leave me a comment if you're interested in getting to know more about light body and healing yourself out. Because if you can heal yourself out and become the eternal healer, then you can heal anybody out. and then you can uplift yourself continuously into the alpha omega antenna, which is the origin, because the origin is being replanted here. And so we are opening our genetic constructions. If we look at the genes today, we can truly elongate them because they shrink when we get older. Elongating them and getting them in the right celestial frequencies is where the healing starts, the regeneration starts, the rejuvenation. So there's a lot to learn there, but we can only learn day by day, and that's quite enough. So let me know if you work with numbers, with a code. I work a lot with codes and designs. Most of my videos have a code in it. And for those who want to make an easy transition, or if you suffer a difficult time in healing yourself, or making the next step, that is very understandable. So I have here a free, I think it's about 3 hours and so on, a transcendent hypnotic meditational release to resurrect you in a brand new life. This is new for me, and it's the first time I'm doing this, but I think it's so wonderful, as you can run that video during the night, and it will re-encode, open up, clear your lungs, open up your heart center into with a code. I have the lavender code, the magic of Merlin, the violet flames that start to work from that level. So with my voice in the celestial universes realms, coding that video, that healing session in that video, that should come true if you run that, do the experience. For example, run that through like for 7 days at night. You just fall asleep with it, and that is what sleep meditations and hypnosis are about. So that should tremendously help you to release the old lifestyle, to release, if you have bad habits let's say in your food industry, your health, if you know that, if you fail in fitness and never keep on doing something like dancing, running, hiking, whatever, as all that keeps the body going up and up and up in vibration, or if you have a job full of stress and nonsense and don't know how to get out of it, that there's 5 items in that meditation that will cover it, and that will open or assist you into self-discovering your true dream life, so to speak, in a way that it gets encoded in your brain, and you are able, to get there and to truly get a new life. And that is the whole goal. We truly need to assist each other. So there's a link in the description. If you want to go to that video, it works with the lavender magic of Merlin, and it's fun to do. So you just need to have a look at that code. I have pasted next to the video, and there's also apparel and stuff and home decor with that special code, because it's so strong. So and then again, we can also work with languages of light, mantras like the English language. The I am presence is changing. That is the 144 energy fields around our body, with all those 72 male and 72 female codes within, and that creates languages. So if I talk like that and I don't hold myself back, then that is how light languages actually come through my hand. And if you look at my hands, that is already healing you out. And if you have that vision, then you can go further and further and further. So that these are the simplistic spirits is bringing through, because we are in great need of them. And if we allow that need, we transform, we transition, we transcend, we make new choices. And when these new choices bring through new ideas, change the brain overnight, and start on cycling new things, and the old cycles are just blown out of the way, especially with that code, the lavender flame, that beauty that is all in there. So I truly hope this video was of help to you. If it was, and if you value it, please share it to those in need. Share the other video about the free, overnight or sleep hypnosis especially. Leave me a comment. What you do in light? Are you afraid of light? Do you want to know simple things? Shoot me a comment here if it was a bit more clear, because in the end we all have a specialty in healing, and that is what the purpose of this video actually. Getting your own specialty in healing. Like mine is getting the light languages together. I'm writing out this course for the Hebrew letters and healing people with Hebrew letters because I am crazy about Hebrew letters. I manifested a painting as well. This is the one you see, the negative people staying on the ground, positive people rising through the Aleph. The Aleph Hebrew letter is the gathering of humanity, and then in the other corner you can see the eye of the divine, having to overlook the ascension patterns that are moving into green light go, which is the bridge of light. So my healing specialties is that my gate of knowledge immediately knows when I see you. I know I can immediately code, and I receive designs. And so a design is different for everybody, or there's global designs everybody can apply, such as that healing code with the violet flame actually, and the composition with the air element, the fire element, the ethers, the earth and water element all into that. So that makes us the more interesting. So I hope that you truly like it. Let me know what kind of thing within light sources and forces you prefer to work with. Is it codes? Is it numbers? Is it light formulas like you love to work with pink, yellow, white, for example? Is it still geometries? Is it your own geometry? Do you get that? And I just want to know, and please let me know, where do you live? It's very important for me, as I deem it appropriate for myself, to move into the world and give alive workshops once again. I don't know where it's going to be. Could be Mexico, as that's for the moment the only space I can move without a vac. So I don't want any foreign body in my body, because that would keep me on healing and healing like forever. We don't want to heal like forever. We want to resurrect now and be healed like an automatic. All right? Thank you for being with me, subscribing, liking, sharing. And if you truly want to know how to heal, get that book and know what it takes.